Greetings, Boogie fans! Michael here, and today I, a PokéTuber, will be reacting to Jaiden Animations' recent video, The Best Pokemon Game You Never Played. Over the course of the last several months, I have gotten a lot of requests from you guys for me to react to her video about her Pokemon Ruby Nuzlocke. But I haven't done it and have said no to that because I've already seen the video. I watched it like less than a week after it came out, so the reaction video would be terrible because there would be no surprises in it for me at all. But then she came out with a new Pokemon related video and you guys immediately flooded me with requests to react to this new one, so that is what I am doing. This new one, I don't know anything about it other than the title and the thumbnail, but based on the thumbnail, it looks like it's about Pokemon Ranger. I did send Jaiden an email asking for permission to make this reaction video, and she hasn't responded, but I didn't want to let you guys down since so many of you guys wanted to see this, so I'm doing it without technically having permission from her to do it. So Jaiden, if you see this video and you would like me to take it down, just shoot me an email and I will do it promptly. Also, of course, if any of you are not subscribed to Jaiden, which is probably none of you, you should do so. She's one of the most successful animation YouTubers of all time for a very good reason. Her content is excellent. So go subscribe to her. Links to her channel and the original video are in the description below. And also, you should subscribe to me too. And yeah, that's all the intro stuff. Let's dive into my reaction to the best Pokemon game you've never played, or have I? Okay, so assuming I've done nothing technologically wrong, should be able to just hit play on this, and I think we're gonna be able to good to go. Let's make sure our phones are silenced. Class, silence your phones. Our phones were not silenced. I need one of those like movie theater reminder things if we ever go to movie theaters again. Anyways, let's get started. Play.
I just played one of the best Pokemon games ever, and I'm here to tell you all about it. I'm a huge Pokemon fan. Ruby was one of the first video games I remember owning, and
Wait, I knew that? I was like excited because I was like, me too! And then I remembered I like knew that from like years ago, like one of her other Pokemon videos. I think her first starter was Torchic, and mine was Trico. So, Jaiden, you and I, hoeing babies, fist bump.
I've decided to devote the rest of my life and soul to the franchise. And by that, I mean, I'll play the new games when they come out. Do I have to like them? No. Frankly, I think the past few recent ones have been kind of garbage. But
I can't say I saw that coming, and do we need to unsubscribe from? No, we don't need to unsubscribe, but I'm hurt, okay? Did I make the games? No. Did I like the games? Oh yeah. So this feels like a personal attack. It's not, but it feels like one. Also, she said, devote my life to the franchise, which means just playing the new games when they come out. And I was like, hey, I devoted my life to the franchise too. Oh, you do a lot less than I do in regards to this franchise.
But that won't stop me from getting my hopes up thinking the next game will be different, even though deep down, we all know it won't be. But Pokemon does have a few side games you might have heard of, like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon or Pokemon Stadium.
Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, not for me. I don't like the gameplay. I've never gotten more than like an hour and a half into a Mystery Dungeon game before losing interest. Stadium I have played minimally. Please let her mention Coliseum or XD. Those are the best spin-off games. Please let her mention Coliseum or XD.
Or that weird geometric one, but
oh, wow, she mentioned Quest. You guys remember Pokemon Quest? That game feels like a fever dream. It was like all I played for like 2 or 3 weeks and like getting shinies in that game and stuff like that, and then haven't touched it, and I don't know if I've even thought about it since. This is like my first time thinking about Pokemon Quest, I think, in genuinely like 2 years.
There's one franchise that I feel like doesn't get talked about nearly as much as it deserves, and that's Pokemon Ranger. I had the original.
I was right. In the thumbnail, I recognized the outfit and like the little wand thing.
Pokemon Ranger game as a kid, and I remember 2 things about it. I liked it, and circles. Lots of circles.
Yep,
flashbacks are beginning. When I remembered Pokemon Ranger existed, I decided to look it up and see if it was worth possibly making a video on, and that's when I realized there were actually 3 Pokemon Ranger games. Pokemon Ranger Shadows of Almia, and Pokemon Ranger Guardian Sign.
I have only played Guardian Signs. I still have the cartridge. It's like sitting like maybe 10 feet from me in my case of DS and 3DS games. I never played the first 2. I enjoyed Guardian Signs, personally. I don't know if she's gonna talk about Guardian Signs specifically or if she's just gonna talk about the first one, but Guardian Signs, I thought it was fun. I didn't like it as much as a main series game, but there were some cool aspects, like you just summon Raikou or Entei or Suicune and ride around on them, and it actually was like one of the first games, it like had riding through the sky on Latios or Latias like before Oris did, so I thought that was interesting. Yeah, there are a lot of circles.
Bit of a Pokemon Ranger mouthful, but I digress. I was looking at some forums of people discussing which one they thought was the best, and the Shadows of Almia one seemed to be high on a lot of people's lists. So I bought the game. Now,
dang it! I'm missing out! I haven't played Shadows of Almia. I will not be able to relate as much. I was hoping it was gonna be Guardians. Dang it, I didn't play the best one.
Down and get comfy because I just played this game for the first time and I'm here to tell you about why it's the best game ever. The game starts off with your character taking the entrance exam to a Pokemon Ranger school, and it only took me 2 attempts to draw 5 consecutive circles around this barely moving Pikachu.
Yep.
Dang right, that's impressive. I guess that's all it takes, because now I'm officially a member of this secret army for this inscrutable team school plotting to rule the world. Oh, he's just kidding.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a normal school. I'm introduced.
Oh, okay. That had me going. I was like, is this gonna be like one of those stories where you defect from the bad guys at the start of the game? Like in She-Ra? Great show, by the way. She-Ra and the Princess of Power. If you're not watching it, you're missing out on one of the greatest shows of all time. Anyways, actually, another thing I thought up about Pokemon Ranger, one of the flaws that a lot of the DS games had was that they relied too heavily on the touchscreen. Like, it was like you were supposed to play it by holding the DS, holding a stylus, and doing things on the touchscreen. And I had hella wrist problems from games like that because holding the entire weight of the DS in one hand was twice as much weight as your wrists were intended to hold. And also, according to a wrist and hand doctor, I have loose ligaments. So I also have more wrist problems than the average person. My doctor says I have loose ligaments. Just, that sounds so, my doctor says never mind. But anyways, so yeah, I remember playing Guardian Signs and like having to take breaks because, you know, you gotta do the circles, and so you're like, oh, this hand is getting tired.
My class, and for some reason they've been like starved for new human contact or something because they're bombarding the teacher with questions. Are they a boy or a girl? Which is it? Is she cute? So I'm introducing myself, and apparently the teacher catches this Keith kid looking at me with a big grin.
Keith?
Anyway, you go sit next to Keith. Oh, okay, just plop me right next to him. Yeah, I don't mind or anything. Thanks, Teach. Anyway, you get a tour of the school from the squirrel with me, meeting the other teacher, Mr. Kinsaid, who's apparently a stickler for making sure kids don't run in the hall, and this kid, Isaac, that Rhythmy called Mushroom Hair. Both my IQ and my height in centimeters are 163.
Okay, that is a great line. That is a great line. Also, I just looked it up for those of you who are Americans like me and don't know centimeters to feet and inches in your head. 163 centimeters, about 5'4". Anyways.
All right, bud. After getting a feel for the school, you're taught how to capture Pokemon with your styler. Loops portray the feeling of friendship, so the more loops you draw around the Pokemon, the more it will submit to your friendship. That's nice. Touch the Bidoof. You finish the school day.
She touched the Bidoof. That's one of the greatest lines of all time in any Pokemon game. I can see why she likes this game.
And are fast asleep in the dorms when all the students decide it's initiation time. Get up,
Oh, boy.
sleepyhead, it's 4 a.m. Time for your student initiation. Yes, sirs. They tell you to find all 4 of the stylers they've hidden around the giant school, and after doing so, you have to put them in the basement for some reason. So you head down there after finding them all, and are in the basement when... Why are you down here? Only I'm permitted to be in the basement. Leave now! Anyway, Isaac, have you finished testing my very secret experiment no one can know about? The rest of the school
very
year
secret
goes
experiment that no one can know about? That's not sketchy at all!
without any big problems. Pokemon Ranger Crawford comes and talks about what it's like to be a ranger. You save the milkman from some Bidoof. You attend a one-day internship at the local
Can we just talk? The milkman needs saving from Bidoof? That's more embarrassing than Birch needing to be saved from a level 2 Zigzagoon. They're Bidoof. Like Poochyena or Zigzagoon, like they at least have sharp teeth. Come on, milkman.
Pokemon Ranger base, and they make you bring them their lunch as an important mission. Actually, while you're at the internship, someone runs over and says the Pokemon on the beach are acting strange. You go with the Rangers to check it out to see all the Pokemon going crazy, and save the day by capturing them with your loops of friendship.
Yeah, friendship loops.
That's weird. Finally, you make it to graduation. Jaiden, come up and make a speech.
Oh, graduation
as the
happens
class
soon.
representative.
Fast.
Oh, I'm the class representative, huh? Well, don't mind if I... So after saving everyone from a very strange rampage of Tangrowth, you start working at the Pokemon Ranger base you interned at. There's a
Could you imagine being on stage at high school graduation and then just from the wall behind you come 2 massive sentient mountains of vines and potentially tentacles? That'd be dope.
call about some more Pokemon acting strange down in a nearby cave, so your first mission is to investigate what's going on. In the cave, you stumble upon this weird missile-looking machine
What the
that seems
hell?
to be what's hypnotizing the Pokemon in its vicinity and making them go crazy. So you destroy it and everyone's proud of you. This Professor Hastings guy is called...
I just want to say, so far this game seems entertaining, but one severe thing that it's lacking, that Guardian Signs was not lacking, is Ukulele Pichu. Look it up. It's a big part of Guardian Signs, and it's wonderful.
down from the Pokemon Union to take a look at the cave machine, and I guess he's like 100 years old or something because the Rangers want you to go meet him halfway in Puel Town to make sure he doesn't get lost and die along the way. You take one step in town, and oh god, all the Pokemon are going nuts. Turns out there's more of those rocket machines planted in the town, and as you're going around smashing them, you run into some guys that are not only very shady, but also terribly shifty. They run away to tell their leaders there's Pokemon Rangers smashing their stuff, and further into the town you find them again with their admin, who's like, dude, what the heck? What do you have against our...
Hold on a second. What did that guy's magazine say?
And further into the town, you find them again with
Jen's reveal. And that looks like... It looks like Coco, but with backwards C. Is that supposed to be like a nod to Koro Koro, a magazine that always like reveals, or at least in the past, revealed like new Pokemon and new games like ahead of time? If so, very impressive, subtle reference there.
Their admin, who's like, dude, what the heck? What do you have against our Giga Remos, you vandals? Treat things with respect. And then attacks me with Rattata and a Toxicroak. Not gonna lie, their battle music kind of bangs though.
I feel like I should be in some like
Turns out they're
swing
part of this
dancing
gang
club.
called Team Dim Sun, and after capturing their Pokemon with
Dim Sun? Like a dimmed sun, but it just sounds like dim sum. Dim sum is a style of Chinese cuisine. This team sounds like they're just named after a genre of food. That's like, what is another example? Guys, we have to get out of here. We're being invaded by Team Pasta. And then in the other version, guys, we have to get out of here. We're being invaded by Team Sushi!
And after capturing their Pokemon with friendship loops, they decide to retreat. We're able to find Professor Hastings and bring him back to the base to analyze what we now know are Giga Remo machines. He finds a tiny black crystal in the center that seems to be the thing that allows Team Dim Sun to control the Pokemon. The base considers this a problem, which is reasonable. And now the Pokemon Union starts getting involved, which is like the big head honcho of Pokemon Ranger bases where all the Ranger prodigies are. The story continues as the Union tries to uncover more about what Dim Sun is up to, and you keep interrupting their plans. You catch them trying to drill a tunnel in the side of a mountain. You catch them having a secret base and cargo ship in the middle of a volcano, which Mr. Kinsade is found to be part of Dim Sun. Big surprise, didn't see that one coming.
Who could have predicted this twist of the century? Certainly not me. My God. I will say though, the outfit, pretty dope. Like, he's got the mask on. He's caring about public health. The sunglasses are cool. And capes, who doesn't love capes? I would wear that outfit, absolutely. If it was cold enough outside. I don't wear pants if it's hot. I wear shorts. That sounded like never mind.
You haven't been running in the ship's hallways, have you? You catch them mining hundreds of dark crystal shards in an abandoned mine. That one was a bit of a problem because apparently there was the mother of all shadow crystals there, powerful enough to power this incredible machine they're in the middle of developing that they plan on using to control all the Pokemon within a 500-mile radius they got their grubby hands on and helicoptered away to their headquarters.
I love this game's originality of dark crystals, shadow crystals, you know? Like, that's something that, like, no one's ever seen that before.
Probably should tell someone about that. But the good thing is we ended up finding the diary of the Dim Sun president's father, who writes about how if we gather these 3 gems called the Tears of Princes, the gems will be able to combine their power and negate the power of the shadow crystal.
This is like some...
Let's go do that. The first gem is told to be in this giant ice castle called Alima Castle. And on the way there, you run into Dim Sun grunts trying to stop you. They're not hard to deal with, and they start getting a bit frustrated. I want to pay you with a snowball. You make it to the castle after swimming through a bunch of ocean boulders and whirlpools that totally didn't slow me down at all, and end up at the castle where Dim Sun is already running around in trying to get the gem first. These guys are blocked from going any further because this giant chunk of ice is in front of the door, and the grunts are like, man.
Is this supposed to be an abandoned castle? Is the castle supposed to be abandoned? Because the table setting is impeccable.
That's a big hunk of ice. If we made snow cones out of it, we'd be able to feed like 403 people. And then they see me standing there and are all, hey, that outfit. What are they called again? Pokemon Ranger? You came for a snow cone? You deal with that whole situation.
Okay, I need to play this game. They've got some really funny lines in it.
And end up in the room just before where the gem is being kept, where you're introduced to one of the members of Team Dim Sun's Sinus Trio, Ice. I don't know what his deal is, but he called me Jaiden Noob, and then dabbed, so I had to murder him. Well, I captured and freed his Frostlass, and he—
Wait, is his name just Ice? Like, did I catch that right? He's just named Ice?
He scurried away all, well, I didn't need the gem anyway. After gaining the trust of the Lucario guarding the gem with more of my loops, the blue gem of the Tier of Princes is mine. Fast forward a bit and you get the red gem as well after defeating Sinus Trio Lavana and her Infernape. She doesn't doubt.
Okay, her name is Lavana. What was— did I hear that correctly? Are there closed captioning? Maybe that will help. There's only auto-generated, which will not help us.
Just before where the gem is being kept, where you're introduced to one of the members of Team Dim Sun's Sinus Trio, Ice.
Yeah, no, this guy's name is just Ice. I feel like they could have done something like Ike or something like that. But no, just Ice.
Infernape.
All right, there's
she doesn't
Lavana.
Down, she
I
does
like her
do
pink
this
hair.
Sexy little dance. The guy from school, Keith, who's a ranger now.
She just— maybe it's just the pink hair, but she kind of reminds me of Lavrina. Is that her name from XD?
And you get the red gem as well after defeating Sinus Trio Lavana and her Infernape. Evil. She doesn't dab, but she does do this sexy little dance. The guy from school, Keith, who's a ranger now, was assigned to get the yellow gem and hasn't come back yet. So the union's
He's dead.
All right, Jaiden, go check on him. You hop on a boat
Keith,
to the destination,
no.
but whooops, apparently a whale lord is in trouble. I'll just go down there and see. Yep, I thought so. These dim sum grunts are trying to kidnap a whale lord, and after destroying the machines that were trapping it, they decide to just grab a whalmer instead and try to convince their boss it's a whale lord mini. You follow them on the rescued whale lord and start infiltrating their base. Down a hall, you discover the grunts squishing the whalmer through the door, and as you follow them into the room, they're like, oh crap, shoot, do you want to deal with the ranger? Oh no, I'm too wimpy. I know. Let's apologize. Sorry. We got the ranger's confidence. Charge! And then drop a truckload of slackoth on me. After capturing all their slackoth, they're like, oh
What?
no! And then all of them just grab me and shove me out of the room and lock it. Which honestly is more effective than like 99% of all video game villains.
It is so funny that in all of Pokemon's history, the amount of times that literally just using physical force against the player itself is 0. So many situations where it would just make logical sense. It would make the games not rated E, probably, but it would make more sense.
So you keep running through the base and end up actually finding mushroom-haired Isaac from Ranger School. He's been manipulated into building Dim Sun's incredible machine, and we agree to take him back to the Union after we finish up our business in the secret hideout. We finally encounter Mr. Kincaid, who's manning the whale lord operation. He's being all maniacal, but we successfully capture his Gliscor, save Whalmer, and bring Isaac safely back to the Union, where he gives us access to the incredible machine blueprints. Skipping ahead in the story a bit, we end up not being able to get the yellow gem because Heath, the last of the Sinus trio, kidnapped Keith, and we exchanged him for the yellow gem. I kept trying to say no.
Heath has Keith wrapped in a rope wreath. I have beef with... It's not quite there. Beef?
Oh, but I guess it's good we saved him. The Union makes a plan to have their top rangers go and fly to Dim Sun's headquarters and face them head on. Jaiden, you can just sit in the corner and do nothing. But right as they leave to do that, the Sinus trio busts through the Union walls and are like, ha ha ha, we'll be taking this, and steal back Isaac because they need him to complete the incredible machine by midnight so they can activate the Shadow Crystal. Isaac complied because they threatened to kill his sister or something. So new plan.
What the hell did they actually threaten? I mean, threatened her safety, maybe, but also that's like, wow, that's not something you see in a Pokemon game. Like, there's some dark stuff, but like threatening the safety of a loved one to get them to do what you want, that's not something you see in Pokemon very often.
Now I have to get Isaac back and basically destroy the machines that were protecting their building / incredible machine. Because, oops, I didn't mention this before, but they turned their entire building headquarters into the incredible machine. What? We basically just waltz right through the front doors of the headquarters. Heh, that'll stop people from entering. What? How did you get in here? And battle our way up to Isaac, who's like, you're a bit too late. I totally just completed the entire machine and they're about to use it to hypnotize all the Pokemon in the region in like 5 minutes.
Mushroom Head, no!
Well, at least your sister's not dead. So you run to the top, defeating the Sinus trio every floor of the way, and grab the last Tears of Prince's gem. And you get to the top where you meet the Dim Sun president Blake Hall for the first time, and he's like, you're too late. It's time for darkness.
Oh, the teacher guy wasn't the leader?
And then I capture it immediately. And he's like, just kidding. Get her, Darkrai! And then Darkrai just starts dipping me into darkness, and Keith has to come save me on his Staraptor. So Darkrai's like, well, then I'm gonna just dip these guys into the darkness, and throws Blake and his assistant into the void. Haha, but I decide to capture and free Darkrai anyway with the help of the Tears of Princes, and save the day.
Crap.
Yay, woohoo! I'm a hero! Time to take a nap. Now, Pokemon Ranger is a big game. It took
Wow, Darkrai is the final boss. That's pretty cool.
me about 24 full hours to get through the game, so I had to leave out a lot, and I mean a lot, of other points in the story. There's even a bunch of side quests that are actually pretty entertaining and funny you can complete that help power up your styler. There's one where this guy says he researches smells and wants me to bring him the stench of a muck. So you do it, and he's like, yes, and puts it in a jar. Then later on in the game, he pops up again, and this time asks for a Weezing and a Skuntank, to which he's like, yes, and puts them in jars. Then he's like, thanks, dude, and you never see him again. The dialogue is absolutely amazing. This game has probably the best writing out of any Pokemon game I know of.
Correct.
Team Dimsun
oh, wait.
Amazing. This game has probably the best writing out of any Pokemon.
I have those plushies. Okay, so I don't know if I still have the Sceptile and Swampert. If I do, it's at my parents' house somewhere. I don't know if we still have those. But that Blaziken is the one from Pokemon Talk. This one. See? Apparently these plushies are like super expensive. Cool. Wish I hadn't gotten rid of the other two. Maybe I didn't, but I probably did. I did some dumb getting rid of my toys and games when I was trying to be a cool teenager and stuff. Just take this as a lesson, kids. Never throw anything away. Or sell anything. Or give it to anyone. Hoard all of your fun childhood nerdy possessions, because the nostalgia you'll get to experience as an adult is great.
Pokemon game I know of. Team Dimsun is obviously the star of the show, and whenever they come on screen, you know they're gonna have something funny to say. At one point, while I was trying to get into their secret base in the volcano, I captured the Pokemon they were controlling, and they're like, time to make our escape, and set off dynamite, which exploded a giant boulder and blocked the entrance to the base, which they're like, shoot! We were supposed to detonate it after we go in. So they had to wait for me to go get a Pokemon that can destroy the rock. And they're like, thanks, Ranger. We'll be grateful for this for about a second. And they run through the door. So you follow
I question the ethics of bringing a Turtwig into a volcanic landscape.
them, and they come back like, hey, we forgot about you helping us. Take this! And drop a bunch of Numel on me. Also, all of the music that plays when they're around is awesome. I was jamming out whenever I was running around their base. It's a bummer this game isn't super popular. I know it's got a small cult following, but it definitely deserves to be more well-known, and I really consider it one of the top Pokemon games out there, just on writing alone. It's not a hard game, but I mean, Pokemon isn't meant to be a difficult game series anymore.
Agreed. If you're looking for a difficult game, don't play Pokemon.
See some people getting a bit tired of the capture system since it doesn't change much throughout the game, but honestly, again, I think the story and dialogue far make up for the semi-repetitive capture and battle system. Now, I know I kind of just talked about the entire plot, but if you're curious about playing it yourself, there's so much I left out, and there's still a lot to discover about the game, so I highly recommend it. I'm being honest when I say I didn't even cover a third of what happens in the game, and there were a lot of funny moments I really wanted to talk about that I just didn't have room for in the script. I'm just trying to convince you to play the game yourself at this point, because I think it's just that funny of a game. But I'll stop. But here's all my stats after completing the game. It took me about 24 hours to complete it. I captured 734 Pokemon and ran away from 106. I think that's a pretty good ratio. And look, I drew a total of 9,077 loops. With that amount of practice, I bet I'm a master at drawing circles now. Thanks for watching the video on me drawing circles.
Well, that was excellent. Excellent video. I might need to get the game now just to play it. Although I feel like after this video, there's gonna be a surge in people trying to buy this game. So maybe I'll just wait a little while for stocks to come back or whatever. Or people who buy it because of this game want to then sell it. Yeah, it's a Jaiden video, therefore was great. No surprise there. But I must say that there was some pretty freaking funny dialogue. I was impressed. I think I might need to play the game because I enjoyed Guardian Signs, but I don't remember finding it particularly funny. I mean, it's been a while, but it certainly did not include any lines as iconic as touch the Bidoof. But anyways, guys, I think that's where I'm gonna wrap this video up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and an extra special thanks to my patrons over on Patreon who are helping support my channel independent of fluctuating YouTube ad rates. If you wanna help support me in the same way, the link is in the description below. Also, if you wanna check out some more of my fun Pokemon content, I recommend these videos here. All right, that's all I have for now, so until next time, Pokefans, gotta catch them all.